They're called the Yellow Vest protests, and they are against fuel price rise in France. They've entered their second weekend in Paris. The police fired tear gas and used water cannons to disperse the protesters. Several hundred protesters had converged on the Champs-Élysées, where they faced the police, who were sent to prevent them from reaching the nearby presidential Élysée Palace. Some protesters sang France's national anthem, while others carried signs with slogans calling for President Emmanuel Macron's resignation, and some even called him a thief. The demonstrators are opposed to taxes Macron has introduced last year on diesel and petrol, which are designed to encourage people to shift to more environmentally friendly transport. Alongside the tax, the government has offered incentives to buy green or electric vehicles. Meanwhile, the French Interior Minister has blamed the far-right groups for the violence that has erupted in Paris.
Paris, on voit une évolution. À l'appel de Marine Le Pen, qui avait invité les manifestants à venir sur les Champs-Élysées, effectivement, près de 5000 personnes sont mobilisées. Mais ce que l'on constate, c'est qu'aujourd'hui, l'ultra-droite s'est mobilisée, est en train de vouloir dresser des barricades sur les Champs-Élysées.
Tens of thousands of people clad in fluorescent yellow jackets have been protesting in France for over a week. 2 people have been killed and hundreds have been injured in the unrest. Protesters blocked highways, burnt barricades and obstructed access to fuel pumps.
Alors moi, ce qui m'a plu, et pour tout le monde, hein, c'est la même chose, c'est que c'est apolitique, asyndical, et ça fait 30 ans que j'attends que les Français se bougent, qu'il y ait une réaction, parce qu'on est tous en train de se plaindre, repas de famille, tout le monde se plaint, personne ne fait rien. Et là, il y a un mouvement, alors j'invite vraiment les gens qui se plaignent en permanence, eh ben venez, on va faire bouger les choses, ce n'est plus possible. Aujourd'hui, on est au pied du mur, et l'année 2019 s'annonce exécrable et dramatique. Il y a des personnes âgées qui ne mangent plus le soir parce qu'elles n'ont pas les moyens. Il y a des chômeurs qui sont sortis, les gens, même qui travaillent, le 15 du mois, ils sont à découvert. Alors, crédit à la consommation, on dit stop, on peut avoir des solutions.
It's Top Focus tonight on World is One, and now we have François Gauthier, French political writer and journalist, joining us live from Bengaluru. François, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on World is One. Can you tell us a little bit more about these protests? Is this the steepest rise in fuel prices in France?
We have seen in France, my country, the steepest petrol prices ever, and as a result, spontaneous protests in the streets, which are not union-led and which come from the common people who feel that, life has become too costly. If you have a middle income in France, and you have to run your car and your fuel for winter, it's become very steep now. So the protests in France, which have been spontaneous and going on, and tomorrow is supposed to be huge crowds in Paris and all over France, are because of the steepest ever prices in petrol and diesel.
François, my next question is, how exactly is the French government planning to tackle this? Because it's the second weekend in which the protests have continued.
Mr. Macron, the French president, has throughout his mandate said that he will stand firm against any form of protest. In fact, in a speech, I think when he was in Sweden, he said that he resented the Gallic spirit. The French sometimes are called Gallic, and the Gallic spirit is to protest, to grumble, And so Mr. Macron said, for any president in France, French president, they have to face these strikes, and most presidents have given in. but Mr. Macron has said repeatedly that he will not give in. Now, these protests are different because they're not union-led and they concern common people, the middle class and the lower middle class of France. So it is very possible that at some point, this time and this time only, Mr. Macron may concede and may lower and subsidize again the prices of petrol and diesel in France.